What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're just going to talk about the market today, the opportunities I'm seeing in the near future, and basically what happened today and my opinion going forward for the rest of the month of March, and also some upcoming events that we need to be prepared for. So before we get into it, if you don't mind dropping a like and hitting subscribe, it really helps out the channel. Check out the links in the description to the Patreon, the Discord server, and the Webull referral link if you want to sign up, deposit $100 and get some free stocks. Now let's get into it. All right, so we had a pretty wild day. It was down around 8:30 this morning. Everything was just dumping. But, the last couple of weeks have just been pretty brutal. This week in particular has been brutal. But we did recover towards the end of the day. And now how I have been playing this market is cutting and trimming any speculative plays for profits, just to raise cash and add to my more conviction stocks that I really believe in long term, because I don't care where those go in the short term, even if they sell off a ton. I just look at it as a sale, and that's why doing due diligence on specific companies that you're really bullish on is so important, because on days like this, it really helps. Now, we knew we had bounced back. Now, after big dips, we always rally back eventually. I don't think we're quite done with this, but these types of dips actually yield the most gains in the long term. So buying at these scary times is actually the best thing to do. You want to buy low, sell high eventually, not buy high and hope it goes higher, which a lot of people do. So, this was just needed in the market. This is very healthy, almost like a reset for tech and these growth stocks, which yields, higher gains going forward, or higher potential going forward. So I don't think we're in the clear yet. Like I said, I think the next few weeks are going to be volatile. That's just my opinion. I am bullish for the end of March and on, but these next couple of weeks, I still see some more blood ahead, so we'll definitely see. So this morning, we saw that huge dip around 8:30 a.m., and I believe this had to do with machines and algos actually pushing the prices down with pressure. These machines can trade much faster than humans, and that triggers stop losses and margin calls, which obviously means more selling. So that's just my opinion. That's my thought behind it. Although later in the day we did recover nicely, and a lot of people ended the day positive, until we get that clear reversal where SPY's above 390, tech recovers a bit more. I'm not comfy yet. I'm still on guard with this market, and I'm well prepared for it. So upon a clear reversal, you're going to get really good entries on these tech and growth stocks that maybe you didn't have before. And maybe you were chasing a bit before, but now they've kind of reset, which is an awesome opportunity, like I said, to build out a position for the long term, or even buy some leaps or far out call options, because we're basically back to October, November prices on these growth stocks, which is a nice reset because we've already seen where these can go to. So the upside potential is a lot better now, rather than buying high and hoping it heads higher. You're buying a bit lower, and they could still go lower. So that's why dollar cost averaging is the way to go in this market. But here's why I don't think we're done. We have a couple things coming up. So stimulus needs to pass. That will be very bullish. We have the FOMC vote on the 16th and 17th, and quad witching on 3/19. So let's say Monday we do open up green and start heading higher. I would like to take this time to just say that if you felt crappy holding any of these positions during these down times and you just were unhappy with them, take profits or cut them out on the next time we are heading higher, and hold that cash for the next time we dip, because I do see volatility ahead. Now, even though today we ended bullish, I still didn't go all in. I kept cash on hand, because you always want to have some cash in case things get a little bit worse. We could dip a little bit lower, and you just want a dollar cost average in. You can't time the bottom, but set some buy triggers. Set a couple different buy triggers of when you're going to add to your favorite stocks. I have about 5 to 6 that I've just been adding to, and I'll get into those in a second, but you just want to, say you bought Tesla at 600, well then maybe your next buy trigger for Tesla is like 550 or 500. You just set different triggers, and that's an easy way to kind of balance things out. All right, so I'm going to go over some attractive opportunities on some of my favorite stocks that I'm looking at right now. A lot of them are growth stocks. We're going to talk about some SPACs as well. So we're basically going to see how much they're down this month, because we basically erased our gains from 2021, and we're basically back at November prices. We'll just say around there, October, November. So let's look at the potential upside that we could get back in, once an uptrend is confirmed. So I'm just going to run through a list, and I'm not going to touch on them too much. We're just going to look over the charts. All right, so now getting into some growth stocks that I do see a lot of upside potential with. If we go back to, we're going to go back to October, November area. So CRISPR under $100 before running up to, I believe it went to 220. This chart shows 210. Now another $100 discount from their all-time highs pretty much. So CRISPR is an awesome one. Today it touched just at $100. Great place to buy this one. Very bullish for genomics in the future. Square, this one, I really like Square a lot. Today it went under $200, which is an absolute steal. This company has a lot going for them. And when they recently ran up to 280, I had wished, man, I wish I bought more, but I stayed patient and bought more today, actually, under $200. But back in November, they were under 200, so we're seeing those same prices again now, and that means there's a lot of upside potential to come. Same with Tesla. If you go back to November, before they got in the S&P 500, they were around the 400 area, so they haven't reached that yet. I'm not sure what Tesla's going to do in the short term, but still under 600, even if it goes to 500 or less, I really want to add more Tesla for the long term, very bullish. And if I did like Tesla at 700 or 800, you should love them here. Teladoc Health, another one. We know ARK has been loading up on this for months on end, and they bought more today. We recently saw this one almost touch $300 before, the sell-off. So they're basically on a $100 discount now. I see a lot of upside potential for them from here, just like we saw before. So under 200 is a great place to buy that one. And then C Limited, this one's awesome. I made a video on them before. Back in October, November, they were a bit cheaper than they are now. They did recover quite a bit today. They actually didn't sell off too badly, but recently touched 280 area. So a nice little discount for them. But these are some of the growth stocks that I'll be watching. All right, so we know a lot of money was flowing out of SPACs into more stable, less speculative plays during this sell-off, which actually presents a lot of upside potential for some really awesome SPACs that have great targets. STPK was recently trading in the 40 to 50 range, and I definitely see this recovering very soon here. It already is up from the bottom today of 20, already to 25. This will be 30 plus pretty soon before we know it. So that's another one that could be either a dip buying opportunity for a swing to trade options on, or if you wanted to go long on it. Another one is IPOF, as well as PSTH. We saw both of these dip hard and recover towards the end of the day, and they're both going to be very big SPACs, probably taking some awesome companies public. This one was near NAV, actually, so that means with the floor of $10, you are only limited to 62 cents per share as risk, if you wanted to redeem your shares. So this one was a steal. I did buy more, as well as IPOE, actually. One of my favorite ones. I've been buying heavy, touched in the 13s today, and then rallied like crazy after. So very good dip buying opportunities. ACTC, this one has been hanging around 23 to 25 for the longest time, and it sold off. I believe it touched, low 14, 13 area, which is a steal for Patera. Since then, they did recover, but this will be over $20 in the coming weeks. Very, very easy dip buy. BFT touched 1250. This is going to be pay safe. It already shot back up, but if you got it here, congratulations. This is actually merging, or the vote is March 25th, I believe. This is another $20+ stock. This is a great buy, and it's still at a decently cheap rate. DMYD Genius Sports, another great buy, especially for the gambling sector, pick and shovel play. This is hanging around 19 and 20 before this sell-off, so I definitely see it heading back there. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to go over the market and how I'm handling it, as well as some different growth stocks and SPACs. And I know I left some off, but my plan right now and what I suggest doing is getting a tight, narrow list of stocks that you want to add to, because obviously buying power isn't unlimited. So you need to make it stretch. You need to pick different buy ranges you want to buy at. And the worst thing is having all these stocks at nice, cheap prices, but you have so many on watch, you don't know what to add to. So over the weekend, get a plan together, get the stocks that you want to get into, either for a swing or long term, get them in order and ready to go. So if we do have more red days ahead of us, you know what you're buying. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and have a good one.